Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Monday and welcome back to our series on Celtic Triads. This week we are looking at three glories of a gathering. These triads were compiled by John F. Wright, 1995. So the full triad reads, Three glories of a gathering, a comely mate, a good horse, and a swift hound. So let's start with a comely mate. Comely is a very old-fashioned word. It refers to being pretty, wholesome, pleasant, and often refers to both appearance and personality. To have a comely mate at a gathering, in any sense of the term, whether physical or character, or both, it's a wonderful thing because it's showing to the community, which is hopefully comprised of people who you respect and value, that your marriage and your home life is stable, your relationship is in a good place, and you're part of what's making your society strong as a whole. This is quite a contrast to the toxic situation in the present day, in which many people seem to take a twisted pleasure in showing their mates' flaws and foibles to the world and putting it in the worst possible light and going out of their way to engage in behaviors that destroys their relationship and tears their mate down. I think it's worth asking ourselves, how do we treat our spouse, and do we build them up or tear them down in the eyes of others? Because this particular triad is saying there is greater wisdom in building up your mate and building up your marriage, and putting your best foot forward in society, because all societies are based upon marriage and the family. So, if we want to have a society worth living in, that it really begins at home. It starts with home. Next in the triad, we have a good horse. The horse still has a very special place in the heart of Western civilization. For countless years, we relied on horses for transportation, farming, and other practical purposes. But in addition to that, there's a strong cultural impulse to have relationships with these wonderful animals and care for them as you would family. How you treated your horse, that relationship, how the horse obviously reacted around you, whether it was comfortable and calm or if it was nervous. It said something about who you were, and the rest of the community could use that as an assessment of you. Now, today we don't so much have horses as we have cars, trucks, and other vehicles, but for many people this is still a status symbol. But even the humblest of vehicles is essential to us, because without it we couldn't operate in modern society or get much done. It would really limit our options. Even if you live in a city, you're still relying on public transportation to one extent or another. Now, what we may personally drive, it may not be the most glamorous thing in the world, but if we do our best to take care of it, to treat the tool that it is with respect, that speaks well of our character. Next, we have a swift hound. Dogs are wonderful creatures, and they are the best friend of many people. Having this bond with dogs is characteristic of Western culture. Hounds in particular have a long tradition in hunting circles and are particularly helpful when people are hunting birds, because they are more than happy to retrieve the bird so it can be bagged and later on cooked. A hound that is swift literally helped people put food on the table, and if you had a good dog, that is something that would become known in the community and admired. Now, pet dogs do outnumber working dogs in the modern day, but they are still a vital part of many households for both companionship and protection. Many times I've heard people say that you can judge what kind of person someone is by the temperament of their dog, and I've observed that there is some truth of that, and I think that is the sense of this whole triad. It's that it's your relationship with your family, it's your how you are presenting yourself, with how you treat your tools, how you treat your animals, that is saying something about your character and how you conduct your affairs, and whether or not the community can feel comfortable really having dealings with you. They look at how you take care of those who are closest to home. So I think that's worth some contemplation, and I'd love to hear your thoughts either in the comment section below or over on Discord at Blackbird's Brew. If you haven't joined us there already, there is a link to join in the description box below, and you'll also find links on all the other social media platforms where you can find my content if you're curious about more, because I do a lot of stuff besides just the 2 daily videos. So hopefully you'll check that out, and I'll hear from you soon. But in the meantime, bye!